Well, fellas,
Let's do it. Let's do it. We're back.
Let's start with some season win totals, baby.
Here, let's lay out the ground rules for the people so there's no confusion. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 season win totals, over under, doesn't matter, just 2 season win totals, whatever you want, and then we're gonna do 2 picks just for week 0, 2 picks, whatever you want, just because there's not that many games. And then we're gonna do throughout the season, we're gonna do 2 spreads, 2 totals. I know last year we did a favorite, an underdog, and over and an under. We're just gonna do 2 spreads, 2 totals, whatever you want. But that'll start next week, week 1. We're going to do 2 preseason win totals and 2 picks of dealer's choice for week 0.
Beautiful.
Go first. Who wants to go first with a win total?
I'll go first. I'm
go
excited.
ahead,
Oh, you go ahead, Cole. Go ahead.
Well, me and Griff talked about this on the show one time, so this is not going to come as a shock. I don't know which one I want to do more. I think Nebraska over 6 wins is like, I'm buying the Kool-Aid again, but it's not even because I think they're going to be that good. I think their schedule is just not. It's not that good. I debated between this and Maryland. Maryland returns a lot of guys, but their schedule's actually hard.
I like Maryland a lot.
I have it. I have it in, but I for the purpose of the show, I'm going to take Nebraska, and here's why. While I'm talking about it, I'm going to pull up their schedule. They're obviously in one of the worst conferences in college football. Not conferences, but divisions in college football. And they don't play teams on the other side. Like, they open up with Minnesota. That's not week 0, is it? It's Thursday night. Minnesota lost everyone. Tanner Mordecai's gone. Their whole offense is gone.
Ibrahim.
Yeah, Ibrahim's gone. Then they go to Colorado. That's an easy road game. They're going to blow them out. Northern Illinois, La Tech. So they should start the season 5-0.
La Tech's frisky, easy.
True.
That's one of my picks for week 0.
They will probably lose to Michigan, and then they have Illinois, Northwestern, Purdue at home, Michigan State, Maryland at home, Wisconsin, Iowa. So they win like 3 of those games they hit. So it's mostly a schedule-based pick, but I like Nebraska.
I don't think they'll be that bad. I mean, Matt Rule's a good coach. So.
Jeff Sims is a good athlete, and we've seen what happens when good athletes leave Georgia Tech. They go in the first round of the NFL draft. So,
oh my gosh! All right, I guess I took it over and an under. I don't know if y'all did. Like I said, we don't have to go by that, but I took an over. I took Wyoming over 5.5 wins. So Wyoming. Yeah, ever since Josh Allen left, they're not exactly world beaters.
This is a wild pick. This is a wild pick. I can't wait to know why you picked this.
This is off the wall, Jake.
This is the last team I expected you to pick.
Wyoming has a pretty strong defense at all 3 levels. Their best pass rusher last year actually missed all of last year too, but he's coming back. Their quarterback was not good.
Degeneracy 101.
Their quarterback's not very good, but reports are that he is improving. They have 3 really good running backs, and they play a lot of bad teams. So they're favored in 8. So their win total is 5.5, but they're favored in 8 games, and they're like small underdogs in 2. So they do play Texas Tech week 1, which I think they'll lose, and they play Texas week 3, and I think they'll lose. That's fine.
Yeah.
But they'll play Portland State. They're underdogs to App State, but then they go New Mexico, Fresno State, Air Force, Boise State, who I think is going to have a bad year, Colorado State, UNLV, Hawaii, Nevada. They can get 6 wins out of there.
Colorado's over.
I think
Colorado State's over under is 4.5, by the way. Just to throw that in there. 4.5 over under on Colorado State. I'm looking right now, and the over is plus 200.
Yeah. But Wyoming, strong trench play, running back, good defense. I think that'll win them a lot of games against some bad teams.
I love that. I think you might have convinced me to take Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean, no, for real. Before I do my pick, though, speaking of degeneracy, y'all should see Jake's list of win totals that he took. It's absurd. I don't know if you're like putting that out on Twitter, Jake, but
I might at some point.
Let's just say I screenshotted the gambling hotline and sent in the group message.
I had a lot of
so many teams. I was like, oh my god, he's every team in college football on this list.
I liked Memphis. I could have run it back with Vandy. I loved Maryland. I think Maryland could be like 6-0 going to play Ohio State. I almost took Penn State because Penn State's at 9.5, and even if they lose to Ohio State and Michigan, that can still hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could be here all day with these. But
the thing I love the most about that is that Jake picked Wyoming out of all those. But
that's hilarious. But dude, he had compelling arguments. They're favored.
No, he did for sure.
Over under 5.5. That's a lot.
I mean, no, yeah, I agree. I'm in on it. I might take it. I might ride myself.
Strong trench play in that conference. translates to wins.
They have a favorable schedule. They have a good defense. Like I think that can get you to a bowl. And their coach has been there for like a decade. Like their coach has been there forever. Like they're a stable program. I like them.
The strong trench play. Is that relative or is that like?
Well, it's definitely relative. I think they're going to be a good B5 team, though. I actually took them to win. The Mountain West too at like plus 1,200.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Jake, big Wyoming guy. All right,
let's do a after this a conference winner too. That has to be at least plus 400, and then you get 4 points if you hit.
Okay.
Oh, only plus 400. I think we should do like plus 1,000.
No. It's a real pick.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's fair actually.
Plus 400 is going to be an outlier team.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the 4th or 5th best team in the conference.
All right, win totals for me. My over. I did an over and under as well. I'm going to do Kentucky over 6.5.
Oh,
that's a good pick. I have them.
I really like Kentucky this year, and I'm bought in. I like Devin O'Leary. I think people really aren't expecting them this year at all. No. I like them. I like them a lot.
There's no O in Leary. It's just Devin.
Y'all are gonna absolutely vomit when you hear my conference winner. But you just decided this. You forced my hand. That's all I got to say about it.
And then my under is Tennessee under 9.5 wins.
Let's go. The hater pick. I freaking love
hater pick.
It's honestly not even that much of a hater pick. Like it is, obviously, like I hate Tennessee, but I genuinely think that they'll max win 9 games.
Hey boys, low key, we need to do our playoff predictions after this too, because week 0 starts.
Well, I mean, that's
fine. Let's do playoff predictions instead of conference winners then.
No, we got to do conference winners.
Oh, we'll do them both. All right, whatever.
We're only 30 minutes in. We're rolling.
Yeah,
all right. I'll take my under. This is another one that's off the wall, but trust me, it's going to make a ton of sense. Y'all probably take this too. I got Virginia under 2.5 ACC wins.
Terrible. You're right.
No shot. Virginia wins 3 ACC. Absolutely no shot. So they lost Brennan Armstrong and they replaced him with an FCS quarterback. They have a terrible defense. They lost their 4 best defenders on a terrible defense. And their schedule is absolutely brutal. Like they play James Madison week 2, and I don't think that's a guaranteed win for them. Like,
definitely not.
Kind of like a plucky Sun Belt team. I tell me where you see here. I'll just read their ACC schedule. By the way, under 3.5 wins is a good bet too because they have to play at Tennessee and at Maryland, which I don't think they're going to win either of those games.
No.
Here's their ACC schedule. They get NC State at home. They go to Boston College, who I think is going to be frisky this year. 2 North Carolina, 2 Miami, Georgia Tech at home, 2 Louisville, Duke at home, and Virginia Tech. I don't see 3 wins there. I'm sorry. There's no way.
I don't know if I see 1 win there.
That Virginia Tech game is sad. That's a sad.
It used to be kind of a sneaky good rivalry game. That game is pathetic.
It wasn't even that sneaky. It was freaking awesome, is what it was.
A fun game. Yeah, that's.
I mean, if they beat Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech, which I don't think they'll even be favored in either of those games, I'm still going under. No shot. Virginia wins 3 ACC games, so I got them under 2.5 ACC.
Griffin's freaking took mine, so I'm scrambling.
I'm sorry. You can take Kentucky too. If you want.
That's lame.
Do you need to consult my list?
Let me talk about Tennessee for a minute, though. I genuinely don't think Joe Milton is going to be that good. Everyone's on the hype train, but I mean, we've talked about this a million times, but I'm just not bought in. They lost a lot more on offense than they're acting like they did, and also everything they're bringing back on defense, they're all trash. So I mean, and I think the East is going to be a way more frisky this year than a lot of people think. I think Missouri is going to be pretty good. We talked about that last week. I think Kentucky's going to be good, obviously. So I mean, and then Florida. I mean, they go to Florida. I don't think that's a guaranteed win at all for them. So,
all right, I just found one that I like. Listen to this. I'm just scrolling through this list. I'll be taking Indiana's under win total at 4.
Oh, yeah.
4. Listen to the schedule and please tell me how you can even manufacture 4 wins.
Cole, if you'd looked at my list, you would have known this already.
No, it's on there. It's on there.
Okay.
It's on there.
Okay. Well, let me read the schedule for the folks back home. They open up with Ohio State at home. You do get them at home, so flip a coin there. Indiana State at home. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, that's
shout out Larry Bird.
Fighting Larry Birds, yeah. Louisville at home. Louisville will boat race them. Akron at home. Akron used to be a joke, but Akron's
a little plucky.
Indiana.
They're plucky.
They're plucky. At Maryland, get crushed. Nope. At Michigan, 45 points. Home against Rutgers, I mean, you're going to have to win that one, but it's not a guaranteed. At Penn State, don't even turn that game on. Wisconsin at home, drubbing.
Nope.
At Illinois, the worst football game ever. Illinois will win.
Michigan State, the worst football game
Michigan State.
Maybe. They might have a chance against Michigan State, but I think
at home.
State
but that's only the fourth maybe win. So that's a push at best. And then at Purdue, you're not winning that one. Yeah, that's I don't know how on God's green earth, because even these games we're giving them are not not guaranteed. These other ones are for sure losses. So unless a miracle happens and they just pull out a decent, they got some quarterback I don't know about coming out, they're not winning 4 games.
Here's all you have to say about Indiana is Tom Allen, their coach, took a pay cut so he would not be fired. That's all you need to know about how that program is going.
Went downhill quick. He was on the rise too.
I know, man. Poor guy. But, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, be better.
I guess go ahead and give us your first week 1 pick.
Yeah, do it.
My first week pick, I'm going to take Biggies because, I don't see a world where USC's not up by 7 points at the end of the first quarter. I don't know how it's possible. So USC minus 6.5 first quarter. If they're not up by more than 7 points at the end of the first quarter, it's going to be all over Twitter. USC in trouble? I emoji, So I'll ride with that.
I do like San Jose State a little bit this year. I don't think they'll be. I think it's a good bet. I think it's a good pick. My first pick, I'm going to go with Louisiana Tech minus 6.5 first half, and I got some rationale for this. I took a full game in first half. Larson put me on to this one, so shout out our boy Larson. So Louisiana Tech. So last year, I forgot about this game. They played Florida International last year. The game went to double OT, and Louisiana Tech is talking about how pissed off they are about losing that game, and all the players are very, very feeling very revengeful. There's new quarterback. I love this about the portal too, because we got to remember this guy at quarterback, Hank Bachmeier at quarterback for him. They were a really high scoring team in the first half last year. Florida International. But this is more about Florida International being a really bad team. I think they're going to be horrendous this year. So they averaged 18 points per game last year. Not great. They lost all 5 of their offensive line starters to the portal and their top 2 wide receivers to the portal. The only good player that they brought back was their running back, and he tore his ACL in camp. Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna get the absolute.
Wait, who is this?
Not kicked out of. This is
FIU.
Florida International.
Oh yeah, I'll be fading that.
I may have said Florida Atlantic earlier. I meant Florida International. So yeah, Louisiana Tech covering by a touchdown and a half. Come on, they already have motivation for this game.
I'm with you.
Florida International should be a bad football team. Give me lots.
Yeah, I'm sold. Gosh dang it, I'm gonna have the whole freaking week 0 board.
We're back, dude. I mean, what else are you gonna do on a Saturday?
That's true. My first pick is Notre Dame Navy under 50.5. It's in where's it in Dublin?
It is in Dublin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game is going to be.
What do you have under?
Yeah, under 50. I have 50.5.
So I like that, Griff. You know why I like that is because the markets may not be adjusted to the running clock yet. The clock runs. The first downs aren't stopped anymore.
That's right.
That's a good point.
So the markets might not be adjusted yet. Because that seems like a high total for a running clock with a Notre Dame.
It does. It really does. You're right. I hadn't thought about that yet.
That's sharp right there.
That is sharp. But yeah, I love it. I think that game is going to be absolutely horrendous to watch. So.
All right, who else you got?
Vanderbilt minus 17.5 versus Hawaii. The Commodores, baby. I love it.
I might be.
Me and Griff were talking about this. Okay, how are you going to be a real SEC? Like, you have real SEC football players. You have AJ Swan. You have Will Shepherd, respectable football players, and you can't win by 17 at home against Hawaii. Come on, guys. What are we talking about here?
There's a stink right now on Vanderbilt because the fact that they have open end zones right now with just high school bleachers on both sides of their stadium is disgusting. It makes me want to throw up.
Also, there is another stink on Vanderbilt that Clark Lee is 0-5 in out-of-conference home games.
Oh, anyway. My gosh. One of those was like Notre Dame, though, right?
It's against the spread. But yeah.
But he could beat any of these coaches that he's about to.
Remember when they beat NIU like 2 years ago by like 3 points?
I took Vandy as well, Griff. I bought him down to 17. Like, come on. This is just like a come on. Like this is my come on pick.
If they don't, it's going to be the worst year ever for Vanderbilt.
They're not.
Your win total is boned if they lose this game, Jake.
Oh my God! If they lose this game, I'm not even.
Even if they don't cover it, it might be screwed.
I'll pay my bookie right now. If they don't cover, I'll pay my bookie right now. They're not.
By the way, South Carolina didn't win the 7 games either. That could have been a play, but I didn't take it.
That's nothing. That's one of my favorite.
There's at 7 now, or is it 6.5 still?
6.5. They're not going to win.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
South Carolina fans just absolutely squalling in my mentions because I project them at their win total. Like they're just like, oh, this is outrageous. Like, dude, this is what people think you're getting. Like, this is literally what every
odds are this is what you do.
It's actually juiced to the It's actually juiced that you do this.
Yeah, they cover with your provision. My pick, as just a classic respect the troops pick. We're gonna be in European territory, and we're sending our troops over there. Those guys have never lost overseas, so they will be covering the spread. That's pretty much what I got. There's Navy plus 20.5.
All right,
I don't hate it. Also, never lost overseas.
Well, we have tied. We have tied overseas, so a tie is a win. I got 20 points.
So. That is true. I'm going to take UTEP -1. This is another. I think UTEP's just a little bit bigger and stronger than them on the offensive and defensive lines. Jacksonville State's first game in the FBS with Rich Rod. Good offense.
They could come out. They had Rich Rodriguez. That's crazy.
Yeah, they could come out and blow the doors off of UTEP. But this line has moved, I think, from like Jack State -2 to UTEP -1. And so I'm basically getting a money line pick 'em here. I'll take UTEP. I just think they can win in the trenches. Maybe a little welcome to the FBS moment. I think the game is at Jacksonville State, so that crowd's going to be the crowd will probably be a little rowdy. But yeah, sure, I'll go to UTEP. I mean, it's week 0. Come on, we don't got much to pick from.
Facts. All right, quick conference picks. It's got to be at least
let's do plus 500 because 400. I'm looking at some of these like LSU's like plus 450.
Okay, well, I mean,
I'd never take LSU,
but I have to go back to the drawing board then because I was going to do Penn State.
Don't act like you take LSU.
Well, yeah, wait. Penn State's 500.
Yeah, they are. They're 575. I just looked up.
Well, they've went up since I took them. Then that sucks.
I was going to take.
I have
Penn
them
State
at plus
too,
475.
I have a backup pick, so that's fine.
So I'll kick us off with Penn State. This is the year for Penn State. Like, listen, I heard somebody talking the other day tell me, I just can't buy James Franklin. I don't think he's a great coach. Well, listen, anyone that wins 8 games at Vanderbilt is a good coach. I don't care what you think of the guy. I don't care what opinion you have on him. It is wrong if you think he's a bad coach because he won 8 games at Vanderbilt. This is like his make or break year. That like I'm willing to say that he's actually been better than people think. Right.
This is a if not now win moment for Penn State.
He has actually been a lot better than people think. If you go back and look, like they're winning 8 to 10 games a year. But Drew Aller is their quarterback, and he's the most talented quarterback they've had in forever. And he's the guy that's supposed to be the savior. Running backs are loaded at the running back position. Their defense is really good. So this is they always have a good receiver, and Penn State, they kind of got favorable schedule when it comes to like playing Michigan. Michigan is following Michigan off of a tough game. I forget who they're playing before they play them. So, we'll see. But I like Penn State if I'm going to take an underdog here.
Griff, I'll let you go next. I didn't prepare for this.
I was thinking about Penn State. I really liked them. I feel like that's good value. And like, if anyone's going to win in that conference, it's not Ohio State or Michigan. It's going to be them. But I'm going to pick somebody different just to have someone else. I looked at Oregon. I wanted to see what their odds were, but they are plus 300 something. So I can't take them. So I think I'm going to go in the Big 12. I don't really want to dip into the SEC and the ACC. There's really no value there. But Big 12, I'm between Kansas State and Texas Tech. But I think even Texas Tech has plus 1,000 odds. So
that's crazy.
I'm kind of handicapping myself right here, but I'm going to take Texas Tech. I don't want to take Kansas State because I feel like it's like back-to-back Big 12 winners with Kansas State. What?
You guys took both of my picks, but I have a third one. I'm good.
Okay. All right. I'll take Texas Tech plus 1,000.
He wasn't prepared, but he has 3 picks ready.
Yeah.
these are literally the 3 on the spreadsheet that I have.
I can't dip into the SEC because I'm not taking anyone over Georgia. Like mess me with that.
You're hedging though. You're hedging your emotions if you do.
That's not a thing.
I actually have 2 now. I don't know which one I'm going to take though. Let me say I want to take Wyoming because I've already dipped my wicket in Wyoming. But let me go a little crazier than that. Give me UTSA to win the American.
I didn't even look at this conference, dude. I just
UTSA to win the American. Jeff Traylor coming back. They just made the jump to the American from Conference USA. I know they're bringing back Frank Harris and the running back. He just won Conference USA Most Valuable Player. Kavorian Barnes, I think is his name. I think they're bringing a lot of players back. I mean, they're a team that's consistently winning 11 games. I think they have the 3rd longest odds behind Tulane and SMU. They dodge SMU, but they play Tulane at Tulane last game of the season. That's actually going to be kind of fire. Watch out, September 23rd at Tennessee. I think Tennessee's in between Florida and South Carolina. I think they could cover that week.
Yeah,
they do have a couple tough games. They play Houston and Tennessee, but they play at Army and Texas State. I think they can win both of those. And then other than that, their schedule's not really that brutal. I have their win total this year. Here's all you need to know about UTSA. When I took their win total, I think it was like minus 140 for 7.5. I went and looked. It's still at 7.5, and now it's minus 200. These guys are legit. I'm going to take UTSA. 3rd longest odds to win the American. I think they're at plus 400. But yeah, give me UTSA.
I remember when they had Sincere McCormick. He was awesome.
Yeah.
That was last year, right?
2021.
Yeah, it was the year before. Because they would have had
they lost in the championship that year.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'll take UTSA.